Hello everyone, it's Suzanne, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator on the south coast of New South Wales. Thanks for stopping by and watching my video. So today's share is a cute little slider card that I've made using the Bonanza Buddies bundle. So I'll just show you how it works. Just pop this up here like that and pop it down. So I'll show you the bundle. It's just page 34 of the current mini catalogue, and it's $67.50 for in Australian dollars. 10% off to grab the bundle. You get all these dies here, plus all these cute images here in the stamp set. They're so cute, and you can do heaps of things with it. So I always look for inspiration in my card making. When I'm making cards, you know, I wish I could just pop ideas straight off the top of my head, but no, that's not the case. So tonight I thought I'm going to case this design here, this tag. I'm looking at that and I'm thinking I like that, but I'm just going to change a little and make it into a slider card. So let's get all the pieces. I've got my card base here. This is Coastal Cabana. Now, to make my card bases, I just cut an A4 piece of cardstock in half and then I fold it in half. So it would measure 5 by 7/8 by 8 1/4, and then I fold it in half. Okay, so we've got the front DSP panel, and this is 5 5/8 by 3 7/8. Then we've got our background panel in Whisper White. This measures 2 inches by 3 1/4 inches. I've got my slider panel here out of some DSP paper. It's got some cute little candles on it. This measures 1 5/8 by 3 1/8. Then I've got my little toucan here that I've used the die cut, and I've actually just die cut him out of the coordinating designer series paper. So I've got a 12 by 12 sheet here, and I've just cut this out with the die. I love how Stampin' Up! Use their dies and their punches and they coordinate them with their designer series paper. And then he just cuts it like that. So I've done that. I've also cut a banner piece out of DSP as well with the die. And then I've cut a tag, but I've also used a rectangle stitched framelits die and put it in the middle so that it makes a frame. So here's my tag punch here, tag die, I should say, from the Bonanza Buddies bundle. And then I've just got the rectangle die, and I've just put it in here like this, and just run it through my big shot to make the frame so that we can make our slider. So I'm going to keep this piece because I'm going to cut this in half with my mini trimmer, and then I'm going to use that for the pull tab on the slider part. So I'll do that now. I'll just chop that in half with my mini paper trimmer. I'm just going to eyeball this. I'm not going to measure it. I'll just eyeball it and cut it about half like that. And then we'll use that. All right. So first things first, I'm just going to glue this on here using my Tombow glue. Look at the other side. It's got cute little lines on it. So cute. All right. So I thought because the card was busy with the slider and things like that, that I just wanted to use a plain background. So I'll just pop that on there. All right. Now I'm going to stick the tag on. Now I haven't done it straight. Sometimes I just like to put things crooked on the card. I don't know. That's just me. So we have to stamp the background first of the slider part. So the Whisper White piece here. So what I wanted to make it look like is that the toucan is resting on the bunting on the front of the card. And then when you slide it up, he's kind of standing on the presents, a bit like what's in the catalogue. the picture of what's in the catalogue. So we're going to stamp some presents on here. Now I'm going to grab the Stamp and Pierce mat to put underneath because it's a photopolymer stamp. And the colours that I'm going to be using are So Saffron, Pool Party, and Grapefruit Grove. They're just the colours that I have on hand. If you look in the mini catalogue, just turn the page here. It's part of the birthday Bonanza suite, this Bonanza Buddies bundle. And so it actually lists the colours here that coordinate with the suite. As I don't have some of these colours, I've kind of just looked in my stash and went, okay, what is the closest colour that I have? So, and that's Pool Party, So Saffron, and Grapefruit Grove. Okay, so first we're going to stamp the present, and I'm looking for the long skinny present. Now, I don't want to stamp the present on the bottom of the tag like that, because if I do that, when I put the frame on top, the present's going to be covered up. So I'm kind of just going to eyeball where I want to stamp my stamp, about there. So I'll just ink it up in So Saffron. And then just eyeball it. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's not exact. But yeah, so about there. Now in the stamp set, there are some cute little bows that you can stamp onto the presents. I've just left them blank today. That's only purely because I forgot. But yeah, you can add these on here if you want to. I always say to ladies that attend my classes, my face-to-face classes, that this is what I'm doing, but you just do what you want to do. You add your own spin to it and create what you like. So, I mean, I probably could have stamped that a little bit. Oh no, that's okay. That's fine. So we'll leave that like that. Okay, next present I'm doing is this one here, and I'm going to do that in Pool Party. I'll just stamp that on top. I'm just eyeballing it. I don't have a Stamparatus either. You could use Stamparatus if you wanted to. Okay, and then the next one is going to be this little square, and I'm going to do that in Grapefruit Grove. Oh, these are so cute. Okay, just pop that on top. Ta-da, like that. All right. That's all the stamping that we need to do for the inside. Now let's get this stuck onto the front of the card. Now I'm just going to do mine crooked again. You could do it straight if you wanted to. I like things a bit crooked, so I'm going to stick that on there. Whoop. I am running out of Tombow as well. Hopefully it lasts this video. That's coming in my order as well. I've stocked up on heaps this time to get me through. Okay, so it's just going to go on there. Now let's make the slider mechanism. What I didn't cut is a window sheet. We need to cut a piece of window sheet that's going to go on the front of this tag. So I need a piece of window sheet that is 2 inches by 3 1/4. So I will just grab that. And I thought I had a smaller sheet here, but of course not. I've got a big 12-inch sheet. It's okay. Right, so 2 inches by 3 1/4. Always something that I forget, no matter how prepared I am. Always that one thing. That's all right. Okay, so that's done. Trim away. Now with this, it gets really scratched quite easily. So just got to be careful and you can get some fingerprints on it. Okay, so let's bring these back again. Now I'm going to adhere the window sheet onto the back of my tag. Now I usually use tape and tear for this, but of course, you know, it ran out when I was doing the sample card. So I'm just going to use a fine line of Tombow, hoping that it doesn't ooze through if I be really careful. I'll just pop this on the back here. Right, let's see how we go with that. Move that out of the way. Phew. Okay, cool. It should be fine. All right, so that's that. I'm going to leave it like that, and I'm going to do the tracks for, actually first what I'll do is I'll stick the pull tab onto the DSP panel for the front of the card. So this is a piece that I cut in half earlier, and I'm probably just going to do it about maybe like a quarter. Just glue that on there. It should be fine. And this is what we will use to pull the panel out of the card, to slide it out of the card. Okay, let's make the tracks. Now you'll notice there's a lot of slider card tutorials out there, and they're all great. And they all use all different ways of how to make your mechanisms and your tracks. I'm using some foam adhesive strips to make my tracks for my slider. It's the easiest way I found to do this. So what I'm going to do is I need to just make sure that I'm leaving the right amount of room for my panel to slide up and down. So I'm just going to leave that on there while I place my foam strips around the sides and the bottom. So I've got a smaller piece here, so we'll just use this smaller piece here for the bottom. The reason why I put it on the bottom is so it just doesn't fall straight through when you push it down. It's got something to stop it. It's like a stopper. And we'll just put that there. Now I will keep this little piece. I can use that for something. So I'll just grab my scissors. I'll just chop that little piece off there. I'm going to use that. Okay, and then we'll do the sides. So I probably only need about 3/4 of a strip, I'd say. Probably not even that, but okay, we'll see how we go. So just making sure that your panel is straight and that it's covering the window frame as well. And then just stick this on here. Do this left-handed, I'm right-handed. About there. And then on this side. Just don't stick it on your panel, otherwise you won't be able to slide it in and out. And that there. And the good thing is, it's good to use this as a panel because the strip is not sticky on the inside, so the panel won't stick on the inside of those strips. I'll just cut that little bit off there. All right, so now if we turn that around like that, this is going to stick on here, and this here is where it slides in there, in and out like that. That fits perfectly like that. Okay, so all we need to do now is stick the frame on top of that panel there, just making sure that it's all lined up. Let's peel these off. I hope you're getting a lot of crafting in during this isolation period. Hope that you and your family are all well. we're good over here. Our days are spent, well, my day is spent homeschooling children during the day for a few hours, and then we get our free time. So this afternoon's free time was, I made this card. My husband's working full-time. He's in the military, so he works full-time at the moment. Okay, so that's on there like that. So let's see how this goes. Yep, that's cool. Like that. All right, so that can stay there. Now we're going to grab our toucan and the bunting. And I'm also going to stamp the sentiment, "Let's celebrate you," in Memento ink. And I'm going to punch that out with my classic label punch. So I will just grab a piece of Whisper White for that. Okay, so I've got my scrap bin just on the floor there next to me. That should be fine. I should be able to punch that out of there. We'll see how we go. All right. Just punch that out with my punch. Oh, just trying to line it up. I really should learn to not try and do things with my left hand. Okay, so that's that. Sentiment. Okay, so I wanted to, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to lift that up for a minute because I want to know where to stick the bunting. Well, where to put the toucan actually, because I want the toucan to look like he is resting on the presents when I open the slider mechanism. And I also want to make it look like he's on the bunting as well. So I'm going to stick the toucan about here. Yep, all right, so I'm just going to grab some glue dots. Did I do glue dots or did I do dimensionals on this one? I've popped him up. Okay, so I've actually used dimensionals. So I'll just grab my mini dimensionals. Okay, I'll pop him up on the front. Just so he's standing on the presents. Yep. These are a good size to use, these mini ones. Or if you don't have these mini ones, you can just cut the bigger ones in half. So he's just going to pop on there like that. And then I'm going to get the bunting. And I'm going to put the bunting just there. So what I'm going to use that other small piece of strips for is I'm going to use that to stick on the bunting just here, to pop the bunting up on either side of the frame. So hopefully that's not too big of a piece that I've cut there. Oops, just trying to get it off my finger. No, that should be fine. And on here. Cool. And then I'm just going to put 2 glue dots on these ones here so they stick to the window sheet on the front of the frame. Oh. Glue dots are very, very sticky. Okay, so let's take my paper off first, because knowing me, I'll forget. Okay, so I'm going to stick that just there. Yep. Just like that. Cool. And then I'm just going to stick the "Let's Celebrate You" just down here so you can still see the presents. So I'll just pop that back down there. And yep, I popped this up too, so perfect. I've got a little piece of strip that I had from before. So we'll just use that to pop the sentiment up on the front of the frame. Just want to sit about there. Yep, and then I'm just going to stick a few sequins on the front. Now, these are the sequins that come in the suite. I think they are not available anymore, or they're in back order. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I think. I should have actually checked that before I'd use them, but I'm pretty sure they're not available now. So, okay. Just going to stick about 3 on. I usually just stick about 3 on. Got a thing about 3s on cards. I don't know why. A lot of people do. I think it just balances out the image or something. All right, I'm just going to use a tiny bit of Tombow. That'll do. Stick a few sequins on the front. And I'm just about done. So that slider card didn't really take long at all. I've made a slider card in the past and it was gorgeous. I can't remember who I cased it from, but I used a fairy stamp set and I made a magic slider. It was just like a black and white image on the front, and then when I slid up the panel, it was a coloured image underneath, and that was gorgeous. But it did take me longer to make than this one, that's for sure. But probably too because that was my first one I'd ever made. Okay. That. Now, when you cut your insert for the card, I've just cut my insert to match the same size as the DSP layer. So 5 5/8 by 3 7/8. And I've just done a Whisper White card insert. Okay, they're going to dry. So that's the outside of the card. I have made a card insert for the first one that I've done, and I've just stamped the happy birthday sentiment down the bottom in Memento and stuck a bunting that I had from a previous project. I found it and I thought, oh yeah, I'll just stick that up the top. So decorate the inside of the card however you like, and that's that done. So I was working on a different design, and I'm not going to show you today. I'm going to do that in my next video because there's a bit more work involved in that one, but I'll show you what it looks like. Now, so I thought I'd do another slider card using the same bundle, but this time I've added a shaker element into it as well. So I'm going to show you how to do that in my next video. So if you'd like to see that one, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and there's a little bell that you can tap, and that will send you notifications, and it'll notify you when my next video becomes available. I really appreciate you stopping by and watching my videos. Leave a comment down below, let me know what you think, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.